Hi everyone, Chris from Stone Age Gamer here. This is an NES, and while it probably worked pretty well right out of the box back in the late 80s, things have changed a lot since then. So whether you're looking to sit a little further back from your TV, stop that darn blinking light, or connect it with stereo sound, we've got a huge selection of items that can help get you playing with power once again. Let's take a look. Alright, let's get started with a couple of things that we can do with the system itself, and let's start here. Now this may look like a standard AV cable, but it's very special for the NES, because check this out. The NES itself, as you can see on the side here, only had mono audio. So this guy right here actually splits your mono audio into stereo. Now it's not going to give you a full proper like Game Boy with headphone stereo effect, but it will double the audio and make it come out of both your speakers, so it sounds really nice and full coming out of your AV situation with your NES. Makes things sound a lot better, and who doesn't love good quality NES music? Another thing we have that can help you out with your system is this. This is a brand spanking new pin connector, and it is remarkably easy to install. There's a lot of little how-to guides on the internet that are. I was able to do it. I installed a new one of these in my system, and I am not great at this kind of stuff. But this should help you out with your system not reading your cartridges, getting all those blinking lights, and oh no, what does the red flashing screen mean? What does the blue flashing screen mean? Now it's pink! No, this ought to help you out just fine. Alright, next let's talk about what we can do with your controller. Now, if your controllers are like mine, they've been through a lot over the years, and you can get replacement controllers, but if you want to fix up the ones that you already have, if their buttons aren't working and stuff, we have these. These are replacement silicone controller button pads for NES. You've got your start and select buttons, your A and B buttons, and your D-pad. And you just crack this sucker open. It's real easy with a regular, the small Phillips head screwdriver should crack this open just fine. And then you just swap out these pads. It's a pretty simple process, and it'll make them work like new. Also, on the point of these controllers, sometimes you want to sit a little farther away. I know when we were kids, sometimes we'd like to just sit down on the floor and sit right in front of the TV and play our games that way. But if you want to sit a little further away, there's this. An old school extension cable for NES. It's an extra 6 feet to tack onto your NES controller, so you can sit back, relax on your couch, and shoot with your zapper, use your NES Max, your dog bone controller. I like how they drew all those things in there. But yes, it's a pretty basic extension cable, and it just gives you a little bit of extra room to work with your controllers from a distance. Now let's say you want to use something a little bit more modern on your NES, like you have one of these 8-bit Do game pads here, or Do? I have no idea how you actually say that company's name, but either way, if you've got one of these kind of pads, or really any of those kinds of pads, we sell this guy right here. This is from 8-bit Do. It is a retro receiver, and it allows you to plug this right into your NES controller port, and then you can sync your wireless controllers to your NES and play wirelessly, like it's the future! Let's talk a little bit about the game cartridges themselves. I probably should have cleaned this one off. Sorry about that. Anyway, here's my copy of Captain America and the Avengers. And let's say I wanted to clean it, because oh my goodness, it's filthy. We have this little doodad right here. This is the old school cartridge cleaner. It's a wet side and a dry side, and all you got to do is put a couple of drops of rubbing alcohol onto the wet side of the cleaner, slide the cleaner and the cartridge contacts in back and forth motion, repeat this step with the dry side, and enjoy playing your retro games once again. It's a much nicer, let's say, lint-free experience than using an old Q-tip and whatnot, and well, it's pretty cool looking too, right? You just shove that in there, clean it up, you're all good to go. But let's say you want to go a little bit more in depth, and you want to open this sucker up, and you look on the back and you're like, I can't open this up, I don't have a... What is that? That doesn't look like a Phillips head screwdriver. That's because it isn't. It's a security bit. And we sell them right on our site. So these are just these little security bits designed to crack open these cartridges. They fit standard screwdrivers, just like so. Ta-da. And then you just kind of stick it in there and unscrew. And it is a nice, easy process. And then you can go ahead and get your... I'm going to tighten that back up again. Then you can get the actual chips in there out. Clean them up all properly. Maybe you dropped a quarter in there when you were a kid. Something's rattling around in there. Crack open your cartridges. Get them fixed up like new. On the topic of game cartridges, here's a copy of Star Tropics 2 Zoda's Revenge, and I also have the box for it, and that's special. So here's the thing with NES boxes, is that unlike a lot of other game boxes, there was a little something extra to them. So you see the cart in the manual, just plop that in there, and you've got all this extra space in there. That's because they originally came with these little styrofoam bricks. Now, a lot of people lost these things or threw them out over the years, but we actually sell them here. So you can take your copy of Star Tropics 2 Zoda's Revenge, get out of there, sleeve. You can put this nice little styrofoam bit in the bottom here. There it goes, nice and flush. And then you can keep your cart and your manual, and you can stick them in there just like so. And look at that, it actually fits in the box the way it was supposed to. Isn't that special? And of course, last but not least, what would an NES be without an EverDrive? Here I've got an old EverDrive N8 and the more recent EverDrive N8 Pro. And in case you don't know what these guys are, we'll run down the basics. These are flash carts, and they allowed you to play your legally obtained video game backups through an SD card. And you just stick them into your system, and then you can choose whichever game you want to play. You can keep your entire NES library on a single cartridge, and that way you don't have to keep swapping carts in and out, or if you've got games in boxes like that and you don't want to keep messing with the cardboard boxes to try and get your cartridges in and out, this is a much more efficient way of doing that kind of stuff. But also there's these cases that these EverDrives are in. You'll notice that the EverDrive N8 Pro here is in a regular NES style cartridge, and this guy right here will hold any regular NES cartridge like a Pro. Let me grab my Star Tropics. Look at that. Fits right in there, and we sell artwork, official artwork for them. This is a bit box. We did a whole video about these things too. We've got them for all different platforms, but they're a really nice way to contain and display your NES games in style. All these items and more are available now at StoneAgeGamer.com. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked what you saw here, please comment, like, subscribe. Be sure to let us know what you think of all these items that we just showed off here. Are there any other modern NES products that you'd like us to carry? Let us know. Thanks again, and on behalf of all of us here at Stone Age Gamer, keep playing games.